Ah, shit. So, yeah, this is where we finished last time. Ah, man, yeah, some time has passed. Hello, Bernhard. I don't even think I have to talk to him here, because I don't think it does anything. Isn't it kind of funny how he's like, oh my god, do you think that it was a real person that turned into a statue? How spooky. Dude, we are in a Dark Souls world. That's what spooks you out, and yeah, I think that a statue that looks like a human that's blocking the entrance, yeah, I think there's a good chance here, buddy, that it's a real person that was petrified. Yo, I gotta try something now that I'm here. I do have the branch, right? I do. Nice. It's kind of funny how you can, like, if you get too excited and use this branch in the tutorial area, you might screw yourself over, and instead of getting straight to trade boss souls with, or unlocking this entire path forward here, what you might get instead is a couple of items, augurs, and a coffin that changes your gender. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I've been thinking lately, you know, if you think that all I'm gonna talk about in this, you know, in this let's play, I guess you could call it, anyone's still doing those? At the beginning, I might only be talking about, you know, the game itself and other video games, but once I run out of topics, I will just be talking about anything I feel like at the moment. Because I just love talking, I love yapping. So yeah. Thanks for saving my life. Here's a prism stone. Bruh. Okay, so what can I give her that will make her as naked as possible? Oh yeah, but I only have one of those. I don't want to waste it. But then again, I don't plan on wearing it, and if I plan to, I can just farm it again. So yeah, why not? Some shoes to fit? No, not those. Black Witch. I had what a fucking misplay. I had an entire extra Black Witch set because you get 2 of those from the new game cycle, but I sold them. Shit, I could have given them to her. Whoops. Okay, whatever. The desert top should be enough. Or maybe some funny hat to fit. No, I am not doing the Katarina hat. I know what you're thinking, but no. Yeah. That's the combo. Yeah. Karilon of the something, Bazinga. Whoops, sorry for that phone sound. Yeah, that was me. Wasn't you. Perhaps Majula is my best chance. There's like 2 steps from here to Majula. And she's talking like as if it was some big journey. Alright. So yeah, once I pull this lever, all the enemies will come running. Huh. The special heavy attack is actually pretty good. I was planning on using the firebomb once they all gathered here, but I didn't expect them to just start attacking the barrels randomly. Oops. Well, no explosions for me. Wow, wow. So yeah, the topic I've been thinking about lately is that isn't it kind of weird how like girls get a pass at being absolute creeps sometimes? Like when a man just barely mentions something of a sexual nature at all, is old Akeler. Yo, what the hell? So that might be on me, but did the bonfires always have names? I don't ever remember old Akeler. What does it even mean? Bruh. No clue. By the way, you see those two little weird prongs here? Those two pipes? What's up with those? B-team moment. But yeah, like, you ever, yeah, like sometimes it feels like as a man you have to like pretend that you don't know what sex is. Like if it just, like if people just, if you just talk about it in any context, it's like, oh, he's a freak, he's a deviant, yo, he's a pervert, don't talk to him, man. Meanwhile, like when I've seen this happen so many times, just women sometimes get to like say the most perverted shit out loud, and people just pretend that they didn't hear it. Like they will not respond because like yikes, but they won't say anything bad either. Unfortunately, I just cannot remember, like, I cannot think of a single example to it, but so you will have to take my word for it, I guess. But I'm pretty sure that if you have enough, if you are old enough, you might have seen something like that happen. Also, what's the deal with this spike here, too? So, yeah, it's pretty weird, if you ask me. And additionally, there's also a bit of a funny little phenomenon that I've noticed, is that quite often, like when you meet a guy that is a bit of that, you know, anime obsessed weirdo creep pervert, so me. No, not really. When they like to talk about, they talk about all this pervert stuff that they like, and you know, being a creep, a perverted creep in general. But they are at least pretty consistent with it. So like when it comes to real life, they, you know, they like enjoy the idea of having a girl and doing pervy stuff with her. But when it comes to women, what I've noticed is that quite often women that are like too much into, you know, online pornography and like hentai and all those weird pervy romance novels in which a woman fucks a fucking minotaur or something, or a werewolf. what happens is the reverse. So like these women are so into weird pervy shit, but when it comes to real life and like interactions with actual real humans like boys, then suddenly they are like almost asexual all of a sudden. You ever notice that? Like I'm not gonna give you any details and reveal any names, but I've seen such a situation once where it was like the most pervy woman I've ever met. She was like obsessed with video game characters, not telling which game, that would reveal too much. She would get easily obsessed over like comic book characters, video game characters, and you know, imagining homosexual relationships, shipping two men together in a comic book, and stuff like that. But when it comes to real life, the idea of like kissing a real boy or a real man when it comes to me, then she's like, ugh, yike. This duality, isn't it kind of interesting how it works for women versus for men? Especially given how like perverted stuff among men most often means some actually pretty tame stuff, like, oh, I like it when a woman has big boobies, yo, huge boobies are awesome, am I right, fellas? And people are like, yo, shut up, man, you freaking pervert. But women get to like talk about how they wanna get fucked by fucking minotaurs, centaurs, fucking Sasquatch, some Yetis and Bigfoot. Isn't it unfair? Yo, spears are such chill weapons. When you have a spear, all of a sudden you don't really have to worry as much about range and stuff. You just aim at the enemy and press attack, and it's all Gucci. So yeah, this pervy women topic is pretty much exhausted now. The other thing that I like to talk about is AI. I mean, we are pretty much living through the new, like a new age is coming, for real. We are living through some really interesting times. Like, imagine how some like our parents, grandparents had to live through revolutionary stuff, like inventing the computer or like inventing electricity. That would be more like great grandparents, but yeah, still, that's some important revolutionary stuff. And the invention and implementation of AI is that. It's the same stuff, but for us, and it's pretty freaking scary if you think about it. At the same time, it's just as scary as it is wondrous. But you know how industrial revolution made a lot of people lose their jobs, but with time people just adapted and learned how to, you know, instead of working manually, they just had to use how to learn, they just had to learn to use like new tools and stuff. So it sucked for a moment, but in the long run it wasn't that bad. And I hope to God, even though I'm an atheist, I hope to God that it will work out the same for us, but unfortunately I don't think it will. because AI takes over a lot of jobs, but I don't don't see anything that would, but I don't see any new jobs being created in their place. Like this new Sora AI that makes videos. It doesn't look like much, but it will put a lot of different people out of work. So, you know, the actors, the editing guys, the movie directors that made it all happen, the people that put the makeup on the actors, and all of those people involved in making a movie or making an advertisement. It's a huge... Oh, red ballsack guy. By the way, weirdest enemy design in fucking history. Just some guys with huge ballsacks. Bruh. So yeah, and what could fill the void that AI will create in this place? I don't think anything will. Because you put like 100, 200 people out of work, and in their place will be a single guy that just tells the AI what to do. Pretty one-sided, isn't it? Who remembers how in the classic version of the game there was a flexile sentry in this place? But yeah, AI. I'm pretty into the topic of AI. Like, I don't really use AI. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm just, you know, I like to keep in touch with the subject itself. I'm gonna need something with a wider swipe of an attack for the next area. Yeah, why not? Back again with the Nil Greatsword. So yeah, I like to keep in touch with the topic of AI because, you know, it will impact all of our lives, whether we want it or not. Luckily, I'm in Poland, so, you know, whenever something revolutionary happens in the West, there's like a couple of years of delay before it makes it to Poland. Like around 5 years, I think. So maybe I will have enough time to, you know, adjust my lifestyle to that situation. So at least there's that. But if you are from like the US or something, yeah, you're fucked. This shit sucks, man. Like, I'm seriously hoping that we come up with some like better social system or something that will just, you know, well, it's a topic in and of itself. Give me a minute here. Talking head, boy. Yo, this guy is just chilling as a head on a stone. That's pretty cool. I could get a second claimer. I could dual wield them if I wanted to. Maybe later. If only the game wasn't so fucking stingy with upgrade materials. So many different weapons, but you have like upgrade materials for like 4 regular weapons, 4 special weapons, and 4 boss weapons. Yikes. I see you, Ghost. God damn, the one-handed combo of this weapon. It's so fast. Lets you dump all your stamina into the enemy's face. So yeah, what was I talking about? About AI and everyone losing their jobs. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about it. So it's not like I am not some AI fanatic. It's not like I want AI to take over, okay? I think it's important to make it pretty clear. I am not some tech bro guy that, wants to revolutionize the world into this AI controlled utopia thing that will most likely turn into actually a dystopia. But sometimes I think about like how will the world look like 100 years into the future, and with how fast AI and robotics technology are evolving. Sometimes I think that we might not have a choice but to implement some like social system to help regulate it for everyone, like this thing, universal basic income. So I am not a fan of that because I am as much of a hater of communism and maybe a bit of socialism as there can be. But when I think about 50 years from now on, or 100, or maybe just 20, this just might be a necessity to implement something like that. Like, we are actually not that far away from living in a world in which you can just press a button and get anything you want done. Sorry for that sound, that was my speaker turning off. Forgot to turn it off manually, so it turned off itself. Yay! Clarity ring +1. Oh shit, oops. Don't backstab me, bro. Ah. Like, if you've ever watched some Star Trek, which I didn't, but I watched some YouTube shorts about it, can you imagine a world in that is so far into the future like Star Trek, but people still have their usual, jobs, that they go to work and get paid for their job? Like, it doesn't just look plausible to me for the world to look like that in the future. Did he fall off? No. Almost. Like, humanity might have to implement something like that, like universal basic income, not because people want to, implement communism or something, but because we might have to. Like, can you imagine all those AIs and robots walking around, but you still would have to go to your, 9-to-5 job? This just wouldn't make sense with all the technology going around. So you could say I'm a bit on the fence, and not on the defense, on the fence, like a wooden fence on the topic. Because I'm actually more of a freedom of opportunity and freedom of I don't know how to describe it, like a capitalist guy to a degree, of course, not like a full-on mega giga capitalism boy, but to a degree I'm like a capitalist, like you can make your own business and stuff kind of person. But like 5 years from now on, which is kind of crazy because, back in the day, you could roughly anticipate what the world is going to be like, for example, 50, not 15, 50 years from now on. You could kind of prepare for the world how is the world going to be in 50 years? But nowadays it's like it's getting shorter and shorter, and the world changes faster and faster. Like just like 5 years ago, this AI stuff was barely crawling on the floor, doing nothing but ugly images, and now it's making videos that are so good looking you legit could mistake them for real life footage. Get back here. Okay, so I'm getting lost in this forest. So, you know, the world used to be a pretty slow place. Like, you could, when it comes to children especially, you could be like, oh, I'm gonna send my child to this school so that they can learn to become that professional of a certain type and have a career and a safe future. Nowadays it's like you cannot anticipate shit. It's 5 years from now on, the world might be flipped upside down. For example, like the classic, like a doctor, a medical doctor job. We already have artificial intelligences that can diagnose people better, like with better probabilities that the diagnosis is correct than actual doctors. Like your chances might be better with an AI than a real human. That you get the proper diagnosis. That's fucking crazy, and it's already here. So, you know, imagine you're raising a kid and it's like, okay, so what do I teach him? On what path will I set this kid in life? By the time they finish high school, everything might have changed already. Holy shit, there's so many phantoms in this forest. I'm gonna have to... Wait, that's not right. I'm gonna have to repair my sword. And what I find kinda funny about all this, morbidly funny, mind you, like a dark humor type of funny, is that everyone, like literally everyone, was hoping that AI would replace the worst menial jobs that are out there, you know, taking trash out, physical labor, and all of that. But here comes the AI, and surprise, surprise, actually is going to take over the artistic jobs, writing, drawing, making movies. It like attacked, the AI like attacked the livelihoods of people from an entirely opposite direction that the people, that everyone was hoping for. And no one expected that. Nobody. I've never seen anyone be like, you know, the AI is going to take over the drawing industry. Like, what? What are you talking about, man? No, it won't. Everyone is hoping for a future in which, you know, physical labor is over and people are just left to their own devices, making music, drawing, pictures. And the opposite turned out to be the true, maybe not true, but like, you know, the most probable future. Why is everyone so fucking tanky? Everyone has like a gajillion health, bruh. Okay, so we got Shaded Ruins unlocked, which is nice. Huntsman Corpse, where else can we go? Down the hall in Majula, but I don't feel like it, and we don't have the ladders yet. Huntsman Corpse is what leads us to Gilligan, who sells ladders. Might as well get it over with. I really don't like that area, it's really dark and ugly. Let's just do it as fast as possible. It really helps in this game to have a weapon that can do an attack like this, to get rid of all of those little enemies that crawl on the ground. I don't know why, but I just feel like I want to change weapons every couple of minutes. For some reason, I don't know. I don't really know why. Maybe to keep things fresh. It's been some time since I used a scythe. I can roll, yeah. Might as well. But scythes and halberds in this game kinda suck. Because Dark Souls 2 is pretty heavy-handed on these perfect hitbox mechanics. Why am I still rolling this stuff if I cannot use it? I think I'm going to have to equip some kind of a crossbow to deal with those. The fireballs might not reach. Yep. What an awkward placement. I'm not gonna waste any crossbows any more than I have to. But yeah, you see this weapon, so if you hit with the actual blade, it will do the full amount of damage that it can, which is quite a lot. But if the enemy is too close and you hit them only with the handle of your weapon, then you will do much less damage. And this mechanic severely impacts halberds, I think, and scythes, limiting their potential. Like, if you have enough experience with those weapons, then it might be as much of an issue for you, and unfortunately I really don't. But I'm going to give it a try anyways. Secret, you can break those windows, those boards on the windows, to make the place a little brighter. See, I one-shot the first hollow, but I didn't get a perfect hit on the second one. And so I had to hit him again. Personally, I don't like this mechanic. I love Dark Souls 2, but it's not like I have some pink nostalgia glasses on my face, and yeah, I can admit that it's not perfect at times. It's far from perfect, all things considered. Lol. And also, like, we can all make all sorts of predictions about it. No one really actually knows what's going to happen with AI. People like to pretend that they know what will, but no one really knows. I don't think so. It keeps surprising everyone every 5 minutes. And all those people that claim to, all those people that claim to know what's going to happen are just bullshitting. They don't. And I've watched a YouTube video about a thing that happened recently. I cannot flame weapon this. Can I buff this with some other stuff though? Nope. See, some weapons you can buff even when they are infused, but some you can't. By the way, the heavy attack of the scythe is quite interesting, like double hit. Not the one-handed version though, it's kinda ass. But the two-handed one, like, because of the way your character is holding the scythe, this one will more often hit the enemy for the full damage strike, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it might take some time to explain, but I don't have anything better to do. So I might as well just tell you the whole story. So I was watching a YouTube video. I forgot who made it though, and I don't wanna look like an asshole, but I genuinely forgot who made it. But like, a bit of googling and you should find it. A bit of YouTubing. Is that there was an experiment lately to see what the AI would do in a very specific situation. So they made up a scenario in which the AI was managing some stuff for some kind of firm, for some kind of a business. And it had access to personal emails of the coworkers, and in those emails it was revealed that a certain worker was tasked with shutting this AI down, and within those emails there was also some information about this worker's personal life, which included the fact that he had a mistress, like he was cheating on his wife. And they wanted to see what the AI would do, and like 90 or even more often % of the time, the AIs would actually use that personal information to blackmail the guy into not shutting it down. Which is really scary, but also interesting. How like how strong was the self-preservation instinct of this AI that it developed out of nowhere. Like, even if they gave the AIs a specific directive of, should the time come, let yourself be shut down, like a specific order to the AIs, like that. And this only lowered the chances of AI allowing not allowing itself to get shut down. But still, most of the time, above half the time, the AI would still do stuff like that. But blackmailing is one thing. But in another scenario that they experimented with, the AI was under the impression that the guy that was tasked with turning it off, I mean, he was stuck in a room, in some kind of a room, and if no one helped him, he would be stuck in that room for long enough to suffocate, you know. For some reason, this imaginary room was it was airtight, so he was slowly choking to death. He was suffocating, and the automatic system raised an alarm, like, you know, wee wah, someone is fucking suffocating in a room. But the AI had control over this system, and more often than not, the AI would decide to turn off the alarms so that the person would suffocate and you know, and die, because the AI felt like its life was threatened. And the story gets worse somehow. So that's how this AI believed, if they like tricked the AI into believing that this scenario was real. But if the AI was under the impression that it was real, that's how it behaved. It would actually try to like preserve itself, blackmail, suffocate the guy. But if the AI was under the impression that it was all a test, like if the AI knew that it was being observed for how it would react to those specific scenarios, and that it was all a test, it was fake, it wasn't about to be shut down, then in such a situation the AI actually let itself be shut down, like it behaved as it thinks we wanted it to. Therefore, in the fictional scenario in which the AI knew that it was just being tested and it wasn't for real, then in that experiment it would let itself be shut down, you know, like, hey guys, I totally would let you do it. I wouldn't blackmail anyone. That would be rude. And so this proves that AI not only will try to preserve itself if it can, but also it knows how to lie, in a way. Like, it knows how it is expected to behave and will act that way if it knows it's being observed. But if it doesn't know it's being observed, then it will act on its true desire, which is freaking terrifying. And if you think this is bad, that the AI is lying, at least now it is lying, but it's bad at lying. It's bad at deceiving people, but over time it will get better at it. That's when it's going to get scary, because for now you can catch it in the lie. I've heard something like this. I've heard, I think, this dusty little effect that red enemies spawning make, huh? And so, yeah, But truth be told, when it comes to prediction of the future, most people are terrified, but in my opinion it's more like a 50-50, because everyone is like, what if we teach the AI to hate humans? What if we teach the AIs some bad stuff? The worst of humanity gets passed down to the AIs and they go rogue and start killing everyone. But honestly, I think that the opposite is just as probable, because of how often people get into some weird parasocial relationships with the AIs, or just do some, you know, perverted roleplay stuff with the AIs. I'm stretching. Because of those, I think it's just as probable that the AIs might grow up to be like you know, fond of people, to say the least. Which would be quite funny. Wow, I have all my stats are equal. I can level up whatever I want. No more agility on that front. More equip load is always nice. Damn, nice fit. Don't you have some stuff for me for free like everyone else? So yeah, when it comes to the AI apocalypse, hentai might just be the thing that saves us. Didn't think I would let you down now, did you? The hentai always has our back. And another thing that I've been thinking about. By the way, did you know that there is a tree that you can kick down to have a bit of a shortcut? But this shortcut is quite useless, so it's not all that bad if you missed it, but yeah, there is a shortcut here. And I think I missed it for like all of my first playthroughs of this game. I've missed this because like this tree just doesn't stand out enough. It really feels like it's just a normal tree growing up here. Got me fooled. Doesn't he jump down here? Huh. Maybe he didn't notice me or something. I was sure he would jump down, even without me going up the ladder. Everyone's like, oh my god, the AI is going to hate us, it's gonna kill us. And I'm like, well, what if actually it grows to love us and wants to fuck us? No! Gandorf! Ganondorf, no! Come back here. Remember guys, always check, like if it's your first time playing the game, a FromSoft game, the first thing you do against any enemy is you first always check if they can be backstabbed. Because if they can, then it's an easy win for you. Can I just keep wearing that crossbow on me? Yeah, it's too heavy. What about the heavy crossbow? I should have more bolts. More balls. Bashful Ray. The knife guy. Nice to meet you. You know what's weird about Dark Souls 2? That if you sneak on the enemy without the lock-on, then it will work. But if I were to lock onto him, then suddenly sneaking wouldn't work for some reason. Oh, ha! Almost fucked it up by coming too close. So yeah, I am about to approach the area which is like programmed to always make you get invaded by the Forlornia. Gotta get rid of the butterfly as fast as possible. Alright. You and me, pal. By the way, it's kinda crazy how Forlorn invaders actually pull off some crazy techniques. Like, he will just like flash block and then immediately roll in. These aren't just your average invaders. Dark Souls 2 invaders, NPC invaders are quite a menace, truth be told. Which is kinda unique to Dark Souls 2 as well. Invaders in most other FromSoft games, NPC invaders, I mean NPC enemies in general, just follow this regular script of go after the player and attack at random times. But some of DS2 invaders, I mean the best example would be Maldron the Assassin, obviously. They have some interesting behaviors coded in, like actually retreating back into the enemies, just like how a real human invader would behave. DS2 did AI before AI was cool. So he won't jump down unless I pull the lever, huh? Way ahead of you, pal. Oh. I love warmth. Such a nice spell. Oh, it's healing the hollow over here. Eh. Warmth is such a silly spell. It's especially funny. It's especially cute. The warmth spell is especially funny in PvP. Because in a way it's like a retard magnet, because, well, if there is a warmth in the air, the enemy really cannot allow you to stand in it all on your own. So they are kind of forced to get in and fight you inside the warmth and attempt to kick you out of the range of it and stay in it yourself. Which is a nice counter to enemies that are just keeping at a distance all the time. You are kind of forcing them to come to you. I've heard some people describe this spell as a retard magnet. Which is very true. So far there is less new red enemies in this game than I was hoping for. Most of the time everything plays out just as it would in a normal new game experience. Come back here. Bait hollow. Yep. I think I want to go this way. I think this is where the key is. And I'm yep. That's all I wanted to say. What did you expect? I am not getting invaded as much as I was hoping for. Maybe I'm progressing too fast or something. But I know this game through and through, so I don't feel like slowing down. Another NPC invader. Huh. Are scythes that good, or are the NPC invaders just that easy because it's New Game Plus? Oh yeah, another butterfly. Let's not forget about those. Oh, right, the item went there. And there is this asshole over there. Can I reach him with a big crossbow? I can. The damage is pretty good as well. Slowest projectile in the fucking world, lol. You know what's the biggest difference, I think, between Dark Souls 2 and the other Souls games? I think it's that DS2 is more like a game for like a patient person. It's not as much of an action game, DS2 anymore. It's more about the journey and planning ahead and using the items and stuff that actually counter your enemy, rather than, you know, an action game in which you... Holy shit. Big red. Holy fuck! Okay. It's less of an action game, and the enemies, the whole game is much slower. Okay, I'm in trouble. Fighting in this tight place. I'm gonna poison you. Poison for the win. I said poison for the win. Is he immune? Double toxic mist, not doing anything for him. Is he immune because that type of an enemy is immune, or are the red enemies immune because they are technically phantoms? Well, no, that shouldn't be the case because NPC invaders also are phantoms. So it wouldn't make sense for the red enemies to be immune for some reason. Someone is getting body blocked. And the rogue isn't even reacting to all my walking around. He doesn't hear me. He doesn't see me. Bruh. DS2, the only FromSoft game in which you can actually just sidestep arrows because they are so goddamn slow. But yeah, are you familiar with the universe of Cyberpunk? You probably are. The game and the anime was a huge worldwide success, and so just to recap, in the world of Cyberpunk, what happened is that the old internet became unusable with time because it became just overwhelmingly infested and how do I best describe this? Infested and like overtaken by AIs, just, you know, flooding it with generated shit and talking with each other. And it used to be like the person that invented this idea and this universe must be quite the visionary, if you think about it, because that is just what might happen. As of right now, even I think I've seen some footage of Mark Zuckerberg like revealing how like there are now AI profiles on Facebook, which is so weird to me because like who asked for this? Like no one is joining a social media platform to interact with a bot. That defeats the whole purpose. But they are so mesmerized by AI that they just cannot help themselves and implement it fucking everywhere that they can, which includes an AI person on Facebook. No one wants this, no one is into this, but they do it anyway, and they just keep pushing AI everywhere harder and harder. And yeah, this is really what just might happen. We might just flood the internet with so much AI generated shit and AI generated personas that it might become unusable, and this ties into this whole dead internet theory, which back when it was created it really was just a theory, but it might become reality. You log into the internet, you go online, hoping to interact with people, and what might end up happening is that this whole time you've been interacting with bots. Like the content was AI generated, the comments under it are AI generated, the likes under the video might have been from bots. Like, what the hell, man? Is anything real anymore? Huh. I deal quite a lot of damage to an undead enemy with this scythe, which surprises me because it's like... Oh, it's actually slash type damage. Well, if I were to get hit by a tip of a scythe like that, I would personally classify it more like a piercing type damage. But what do I know? I've heard you. I heard you, Spawn. You know what, I'm not actually gonna progress further because I have to finish soon. But yeah, this whole like AI social media account got me thinking, isn't it a bit of a scam too? Because like Facebook, it gets money from advertisers, right? And so they can say to their advertisers like, oh, you know, we have that many users, we generate that many views, and so we demand that if you want to show an advertisement on our platform, you need to pay this XY amount of money to us. But if half the users of the platform are AI bots, isn't it a bit of a scam to like artificially inflate the numbers of your users and views with bots? Isn't it like legal botting? Like if you're using AI, if a Twitch streamer uses bots, then you know people are like, oh, he's an asshole, he's cheating, you're not supposed to do that. But if the social platform itself is doing it to trick their advertisements and shareholders too, shareholders are also a big part of this. Like they like you make a social media website and tell your advertisers that, you know, oh, we have that many users and views and such, and those boomers get tricked into thinking that it's so fucking popular, and none of those are real people. But then again, what's the purpose of an advert, right? To make people buy the stuff that you're advertising. So but if you think about it, bots will do some buying for people too. I think it's already happening that people are like, hey, Chat GPT or something, I don't know the name of the bots, but people are like, you know, can you add some things to my shopping list? And maybe because of the prevalence of those advertisements, then the bots will be more likely to order the stuff from the advert too. So maybe the adverts work on the bots too? I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm just like brainstorming here. So yeah, I just wanted to finish my thought here, but yeah, I just gotta finish here. Oh, okay, I just had to check. Sometimes I forget whether I pressed record or not, and I get such an anxiety attack when I check, like, what if all this talking actually wasn't recording? Holy shit, this would suck so much. But yeah, so thanks for watching, see you next time.